See here, I got some reds. Ooh, look at it. We got some greens in here. Oh my god, got some purple, some blue. Get the luminance down, get it up. This is, and all through the app, I mean, it's just fucking fun, you know? Let's talk lights, everybody, shall we? More specifically, let's talk about cinematography. Today we're gonna talk about the setup that you can see right here. It was from a recent production that we did here in Graz, in my hometown. The client was Monument, and for this project I did the directing and the cinematography for. So together we're gonna walk through it step by step. I'm gonna show which lights we used, how we used them, and how we matched all these colors together, and how we set up the entire look of the cinematography. We're gonna do this right here on my iPad, walking through the steps one by one, and just learn together, shall we? Starting off with our first phase of lighting. As you can see, here we only got the window light coming in. We have no definition at all, no color, no nothing. Big shout outs to Dominic from the renderers for being my stand-in actor and helping me out do this. So as you can see, it's pretty non-interesting. So let's jump here to the first step of our cinematography. First step is always the key light. The key light is your most important lighting in the cinematography. In this instance, we use the lighting setup, which is called the book light. And I'm even using it right here. As you can see, just super soft lighting, super nice fall off. Now just jumping into my iPhone because I didn't want to break off the camera from the setup here. So essentially what a book light is, we have a really strong lighting source. This is the aperture 3.3, super strong lighting. So it reflects against bounce card, and the bouncer reflects the light back. And then this bounce light becomes even more soft through diffusion, and that's why it's called a book light. As we can see here, Dominic has a really nice lit face. We have some light going over here. We have general lighting going on over this part of the image. So everything has a basic set of luminance here. So this is a really super nice starting off point. Moving on to our next light, here you can see I added this little light here in the cabinet. In this setup, I noticed that the cabinet was falling off too much into the darkness, so I took a little aperture ALMC light and put it right behind the book so you can see the light. But as you can see, it just has a nice light here, and it just gives a little bit more pop. Great, let's step to our next phase of lighting. As you can see here, I introduced green light. Because we had a very warm and soft and orange look, I went for a complementary light that blends in so nicely to the orange color tone. And as you can see here, we got some light here on his face, we got some light. So it's introducing more interest, more colors to the whole image and making it more crisp, more nice. And to achieve this side light, I used these Luminates LED stripes, which I used already in the beginning, as you could see. And they're super nice, they're all RGB, you can put them in any color you want. They come with this app, the Luminate app, and it's really amazing. You can put it in whatever color you like and just give your lighting setup a variety of color contrast, color looks, and all kinds of, variations that you want in your lighting setup. All right, back at our setup. Let me just set up the focus here, right? All right, it's looking good on my monitor. All right, moving on to our next element of this lighting setup, which is rim lights. Rim lights are super important. Rim lights help to separate the subject from the background. Very often if a subject is lit like cinematic like this, and they have like a lot of shadows on this side of the face, and the background is also quite dark, you lose this sense of depth. So rim lights really help here to separate. As you can see, I have a really nice rim light here. It hits my shoulder, a little bit here of my ears, and it just shows you as a viewer that you're having some depth. I'm away from the background because I have this light separation here. So jumping on here to our iPad, in this setup, I had a little Dido light hit here behind the plants, as you can see, and it's just hitting here all the way through. What is super nice about this light here and in this setup is, as you can see, it gave the couch here this little rim, so it also gives a nice little highlight. It's illuminating all the floor here. So, and also most important, it's giving the subject again this little rim light on the face and creating the separation from the background. All right, moving on to our next element of my lighting setup, which is practical lights. I love practical lights. I'm using practical lights for about half a year now, and I just fall in love with it. Practical lights are lights that you can see in the frame, and they just create mood. They just create warmth. They just create this feeling of, charm. In this setup here, as you can see on my iPad, I put the desk lamp here, and we had some vintage old Hollywood film light here that the production designer brought in. And one of the most important things of a practical light is here, you have this lighting here on a subject. Without a practical light, it's coming out of nowhere. But because we have the lamp here, you as the viewer would think that this light that is on Dominic is coming from the little desk lamp. But it's not, it's coming from the book light that is outside of the frame. But for you as a viewer, it makes sense, it's motivated. And just with adding these little practical lights in the right way, where the key light is coming, makes the whole image just pop way more. All right, coming to our last step of this cinematography breakdown is, again, more practical lights, more mood. And in this instant, we had all of these little candles here, and it just makes the whole setup just warm, nice, moody. You feel comfortable, you feel warm. And that was the whole meaning of this setup, that you really feel comfortable in this and you're really drawn into the story that is told by the storyteller. And yeah, that's it so far for this cinematography breakdown. Thank you for sticking around with me. Thank you for sharing your precious time with me. I'm always trying to share my knowledge that I've been gathering through my career. I'm not the super most pro, but still, just trying to share. Anyways, have a blasting day. See you in the next one, people.